So we're going to Everglades and Isabella. And this is Lori and this is who? Lori and
Yeah, dun sa traffic light
Lisa.
turn left sa left lane.
We're going to Everglades and see some. What are we gonna see there, darling? Alligators. Okay, so this is Homestead, Florida.
Right lane. Tapos diretso. Sa traffic light turn right. Sa next traffic light. Kaya may clubhouse, may swimming pool, may gym. Kaya since...
Hi guys, good morning. We are in Everglades National Park, Miami, Florida. Okay. The father of Everglades National Park is Ernest Cove. Okay, so we're getting inside.
This river is important not only to the cypress trees around us, but to all other forms of life in the Everglades.
South Florida sits on the edge of both temperate and tropical environments, making it the largest subtropical ecosystem in America. This means plants and animals from much farther north live side by side with creatures from the tropics. Almost 400 species of birds, 50 kinds of reptiles, dozens of mammals, and countless fish and insects. Find refuge in these life-giving waters. There are some downsides to life in the Everglades. Wildlife must cope with extreme natural events like fires and hurricanes, and adapt to vast changes in seasons, from floods in summer to drought in winter. No creature is better equipped for life on the edge than the American alligator. They've been around longer than the glades itself. Alligators are perfectly designed for this watery world. Powerful legs and tails are good for swimming. Transparent third eyelids make seeing underwater a cinch. And dark hides camouflage this predator's moves. But don't be fooled. Gators can get around just as easily on land as in water. No wonder alligators are known as the keepers of the glades. You might also call them nature's engineers. To stay warm and wet during the dry winter, they dig waterholes all over the glades. These oases attract millions of fish, which in turn draw thousands of waiting birds, eager to capitalize on the easy pickings. Oddly enough, it's not fish, but something called periphyton that's at the bottom of the food chain here. You're likely to spot it all over the freshwater glades.
Amazingly, the spongy-looking stuff you see floating around me is where life begins in the freshwater Everglades. It's called periphyton, which is Greek for mere plant. It's a living mass of algae and microorganisms, all powered by the sun. During our wet summer months, periphyton covers the surface of the Everglades, while during our drier winters, it retains precious water and keeps the ground moist below. But without the right amount of clean water, periphyton begins to disappear, being replaced by taller vegetation. It's the perfect example of how water quality plays a key role in a healthy Everglades ecosystem. And while you're here, don't be afraid to get to know this important player in the Everglades. Pick it up, feel it, squeeze it, even smell it. It's amazing stuff.
As the river of grass draws closer to Florida Bay, a land unlike anywhere else in America emerges. The mangrove forest, the largest of its kind in North America. Its size is daunting. Nearly 500,000 acres of maze-like islands and impenetrable waterways, stretching more than 100 miles from the 10,000 islands of the Gulf Coast to Florida Bay. Mangroves grow where no other trees will, in the margins between fresh and salt water. They're a terrific barrier to wind and storm erosion, and an even better source of food and shelter for wildlife. Above, mangroves are a nursery for all kinds of water birds. But look underwater, and the real nature of this tangled land is revealed. Mangrove roots are the perfect shelter for young sea life. You might even spot a close relative of the alligator hidden in this dense forest. The American crocodile, one of the park's endangered species. The Everglades is the only place in the world where alligators and crocodiles live side by side.
Young crocodiles thrive along the brackish mangrove coast, where the freshwater of the Everglades meets the saltwater of the ocean. The seasonal pulse of freshwater through the Everglades renders these coastal waters the perfect nursery ground for juveniles. Without the natural distribution and timing of these waters into Florida Bay, most young crocs probably wouldn't survive. Like most things in the Everglades, the survival of these baby crocs depends entirely on getting the right kind of water.
It's not just the right kind of water, but also the protection of the mangroves that crocs rely on.
Okay, that's going to be this spot, right?
Camouflaged by the trees, they're nearly impossible to spot.
Total length, 55.5 centimeters.
American crocodiles are generally more timid than alligators. A closer look reveals some other surprising differences. The easiest way to tell a croc from a gator is its olive green hide and its pointy snout.
Recut, that was good, so clear.
Marking crocs will help track their numbers over time. If it survives to adulthood, this youngster will be able to handle saltier water, inevitably making its home in the last stop on the river's great journey southward. Florida Bay. The bay occupies the lower third of Everglades National Park. It averages just 3 feet deep. This water must be very much like the ancient shallow sea that once covered all of South Florida. Just 100,000 years ago, before the last ice age, all of South Florida was submerged beneath a sea like this. Like the mangrove forest, Florida Bay is infused with fresh water from the glades, making it a great feeding ground for marine life. The shallowness of the water allows plenty of sunlight to penetrate the surface, promoting the growth of lush seabeds. Underwater meadows like this become a vast feeding ground for another of the park's endangered species, the manatee. These docile mammals spend most of their days grazing, consuming as much as 10 to 15% of their body weight in seagrass every day. And when food runs short or they get thirsty, manatees willingly migrate inland in search of fresh water, putting these gentle creatures in contact with their only known enemy. Sadly, most manatee powerboat encounters result in scarring or death. But if we protect manatees, we also protect the water that they and all other life here depend on. The future will be a balancing act. As South Florida's population grows, so will the need for open space and a slice of nature. This will only happen if the Everglades and all of South Florida's national parks continue to be restored and preserved. They're all one vast interconnected ecosystem, all linked together by water.
The greatest difference
Gators in motion. Oh, di ba, darling? Look.
That is
Telling them apart. Gators in motion still. Darling, they're so... Kuya, meron yan dito?
Ano?
Yan siya?
Kung gusto pumunta sa Aninga Trail, dun sa sa Everglades, papasok tayo sa park. This is just a museum.
Ah, okay.
They have bugs.
No more na, no more. We will go there inside. Tara. Okay, so this is an alligator. Darling, come here, darling. We will go outside, kuya. Darling, Isa, come here. Eating game. Ba, meron siyang ganyan. Kuya, also here, look. The alligator is here, oh. Ano kinakain niya? Birds?
Fish.
Turtle?
Birds,
Birds, no?
Eggs ng birds.
Eggs ng bird.
And the eggs ng, kinakain niya sarili niya.
Ha? Oo nga,
Gator eggs.
maliit.
Gator eggs.
Ah, okay.
No.
Weh! Ay, aming tour guides kay Doki. The big picture. And here, what is this, Kuya Doki?
The animals that you can see here.
Ah, okay. Wow, nice.
Snakes.
And what else can you see here? Different kinds of animals.
Meron din sa museum, yung Shark Valley Museum, kung saan sila nag-film yung parang may tower na mataas. Yung nakita ko siya, yung may white na tower na dito. Shark Valley, yung dito wala yun. Dalawa Shark Valley sa Earth School.
Okay. Here is the fishing. Okay. And Isa is here. Let's go now. We have to go.
Okay.
We have to go. This Everglades Discovery. Come on, we're gonna go outside. Alright, let's go outside the store. So Isa just want to see what's around here. Books,
I love space.
alligator in there.
Ito yung Florida Keys. Ang pinakadulo is Keys. Pero hanggang dito lang tayo.
Ito yung mga tulay na yan dyan.
May mga tulay, 7-mile bridge.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Enjoying
Muchas
the view.
gracias.
Yeah.
Just gracias. Enjoy.